I was searching for a way to justify building around a 1-mana hero power in Mage, and the only thing I could really think of was Ice Walker. Your hero power also freezes the target, so I guess if your hero power is cheaper, that makes this guy better. And in the Witchwood, we got Snap Freeze. It's a really interesting new card. 2 mana, destroy a frozen minion. We haven't seen anything quite like that before, so I thought I would give it a shot. And since both Snap Freeze and Ice Walker are even, it made a lot of sense with Gen and our 1-mana hero power. So the issue from there is how do we actually win games? And I guess I just ended up on a value plan. I've got a Lich King, a Syndragosa, and a Toki. Still have pretty decent removal with Meteor, Blizzard, Polymorph, and Fireball. I don't really tend to like Fireball in decks like this, but I was finding myself in a lot of positions where the reach seemed like it would be good. So trying out Fireballs for now. I've got a Cone of Cold and 2 Water Elementals for a little bit more Snap Freeze synergy. Pyros is another thing for value. And then a couple copies of Ruby Spellstone for some more value. Turns out that Ice Walker is an elemental. Pyros is an elemental, Water Elemental is an elemental. And I've also got a couple copies of Leyline Manipulator. They either upgrade the Spellstone or discount the things you get from the Spellstone. They have synergy with Pyros, synergy with Primordial Glyph. Sometimes you get a Frozen Clone off Keysmith and you have some Leyline Manipulator synergy. And it also just has synergy with all 3 of our big value guys at the top. So basically we've got a Snap Freeze Even Mage with value as our win condition, since we can't play Frostlich Jaina.
Jaina versus Jaina.
You asked for it. Oh, it is on.
No reason I should need Geist against any Mage deck, right?
We have turned our curse into our strength.
Don't mana word me, bro. Go for Pyros. I could have tried to like hero power and then Pyros hero power, but I don't think the hero power value is really that important. This is actually just more damage over 2 turns. The only way this is ever worse is like if his only play this turn is Frostbolt and he has a good 3-drop for next turn or something. But yeah, just play the 2/2, whatever.
The end is coming.
Alright. Straightforward turn.
Out of my jungle!
Play the Water Elemental over the Keysmith because it has more numbers on it.
How long can this go on? How long can this go on?
I don't think I really need to drop a Cone of Cold here, so I'll just go for this. So it looks like he's a Control Mage. Spellbender probably doesn't really do much. Might eat a Meteor later on. But on the other hand, like what's Mirror Entity doing? What's Mana Bind doing? These all seem kind of bad, honestly.
I wonder.
Going into turn 5. I guess I'm just always happy to have a thing on the board. Not the most exciting thing in the world, though. Go ahead and hero power this guy so he can't value trade here that easily, and I can still play a 6-drop next turn instead of having to hero power. Although now he can go Stonehill plus hero power into this, and then I don't really have a good answer for it, but whatever. He could have just done that anyway, and it still would have been about as awkward.
What to do?
Why is this a thing? Why do people play Abomination in this deck? Well, I can just trade here and it full clears the board, because these 2 guys combine for 4 AoE. I could try to, like, Meteor this thing instead, so it'll only do 2 AoE. Send this here first. I'll have a 4/2 and a 3/2 left in play. But I don't think I mind just trading stuff off. I guess a 4/2 and a 3/2 is a pretty decent board. But I give up my 1 AoE instead of just like trading off and playing one of my 4 large things. But do I care about AoE against this Control Mage deck? I definitely don't know if this is the right play. But this board might be enough to get a Meteor or a Blizzard or something out of him. Like, it's not that many stats overall, but he's at 17. This board does 7 a turn. It was also just nice that I got to push 7 this turn, instead of trading off and just playing a 6/6 or whatever. Alright, cool. Got an AoE. I think I'm just gonna go for Pyros over Toki or Gen. Has the most stats on it, and I have other big stuff. I don't really need something out of the Toki quite yet. Polymorph, probably. That's fine. That could have been a reason to play Gen or Toki instead of the Pyros. But I have enough stuff in my hand, it's probably not that big a deal that I can't play the 10/10. 10/10s are pretty awkward anyway. I'm gonna go Hero Power plus 6 drop here instead of playing Cindergosa. Because that way if he has another answer to this, a Meteor or another Polymorph or something, I can still deal with this guy next turn instead of having to give him infinite armor. And giving him armor is actually kinda bad, because I need to close this out quick since he plays Frostlich Jaina and I don't. Okay, so on the one hand he cleared my dude and I can still Hero Power this guy down, but on the other hand if I had just played Cindergosa last turn, Flame Strike would not have been an answer. But that doesn't mean he doesn't have an answer somewhere in here. Cinderghost is kind of risky in this matchup, because if he plays Jaina, I just give him 2 things to Hero Power. Okay, so he would have had an answer to Cinderghost either way. Stonehill Defender, sure. Let's see what I can pick up. Tyrian Fordring. I've seen one Polymorph. Do I bother trying to bait the other, or do I just play the guy? I can also go Toki plus Primordial Glyph here, but he's never going to Polymorph Toki. I think I just play him. Okay, Blizzard is not a good answer here. Lillian Voss. Lillian Voss is actually kind of interesting here. Glyph is a pretty good card. Spellstone's a pretty good card. But maybe I can Lillian Voss after the Spellstone if I get garbage. Cone of Cold is probably not very useful in this matchup. Kind of interesting. I think I'm just going to deal with this Doomsayer for now. And develop a Water Elemental, I guess. So the Spellstone needs 1 more Elemental to fully upgrade, right? I don't have that many more left in the deck, just 3 I think. I found the other Polymorph, that's a bummer. But my Tyrian got a Polymorph and a Blizzard, so I think I actually came out ahead on that. Speaking of Blizzard, let's just drop a Lich King for now. Seen a lot of his answers. We'll freeze the dinosaur. Army of the Dead's probably the worst one. It's actually definitely the worst one by a lot.
Need a key?
Okay, that's the second Blizzard. I've also seen a Flame Strike, both Polymorphs, and 1 Dragon's Fury. So he's starting to run low on removal. And he didn't even deal with my Lich King, which is great.
What to do?
Let's just go for Toki.
Do.
If I play Toki in the middle, he can Meteor Toki, kills Water Elemental, leaves us at 3. He can just trade in a 2/2 and Hero Power. So maybe it's better to just play Toki over here. Even though it gives him a pretty clean Meteor on Lich King plus Water Elemental.
Amazing.
There and Rivendare. Doesn't look like it really does anything other than Plated Beetle. I'll just drop a Cone of Cold here. Second Army of the Dead. Remember the good old days when you needed to play a big 8-drop and you could just put Ragnaros in your deck? Now you have to put in Lich King, and it just gives you Army of the Dead every turn. So I can Blizzard here, I guess. Then I guess I would trade Toki plus Hero Power into his Lich King. And then what? I guess I would send Water Elemental into the Dinosaur and get him for 8. Leave him with a 5/2 that I don't have a direct answer to, but I have a lot of ways to generate spells. Well, if I'm playing Blizzard, I do need the Hero Power. I guess I would just want to play a Plated Beetle rather than a Primordial Glyph.
What to do?
Army of the Dead number 3. Show it to me. Well, that's the second shittiest one. Looks like this Lillian Voss might actually end up being pretty good. I get 3 Lich King cards, they're all unplayable. He gets 1, and it's a good answer. But I guess it was still pretty lucky for me that he didn't just straight up have the answer already. Alright, let's see if we can use these glyphs before Lillian Voss needs to come down. Meteor seems quite good here. Could also take Simulacrum. Let's see. Trade off the Beetle here. I'd probably have to play out the Baron Rivendare so I could Simulacrum the Lillian Voss, and then I could maybe get multiple rerolls. But I think the Meteor is just a bit too clean. So we'll go for the Meteor. Frozen Clone is not bad, I guess.
Time runs out on me.
I don't really mind rerolling any of this with Lillian Voss, so I might just do that next turn. Cindergosa. Could play a Doom Pact here, like trade Beetle in here so I only mill 2 cards. Maybe that wouldn't be too bad. Man, I kind of wish I had played this last turn. I think I'm just gonna go for Lillian Voss. Most of these are garbage. Maybe I can pick up some damage. Frostbolt is damage. I got 3 Vaporize? The hell? Oh, I actually meant to play Mirror Image before I played that, so I could block Cindergosa.
Time runs out on me.
Oh well. He kills Lillian Voss. I have Plated Beetle Frostbolt lethal. Maybe I can sneak in some Cinderstorm damage too. Okay, there goes 2 mana. Meteor. So I can go Meteor Cinderstorm Hero Power here. That's just lethal, right? Nice. For the record, if he ever drew his Death Knight, I was not able to win that game. But it was in the bottom third of his deck.
Jaina versus Gul'dan.
Your soul shall be mine!
You asked for it.
I have a 2-drop already, so I guess I'll just keep a 4-drop. My early game is not super solid in this deck.
We have turned our curse into our strength.
The next turn I do have the Ice Walker Hero Power combo, but I can't see that being too relevant on turn 2 against Q block. Oh, what? He's Zoo, I guess? Probably just want a 1/3 on the board against Zoo, honestly. So I can just value trade here and play a Water Elemental. can also trade off the Pyros and play a Leyline Manipulator, which would let me play 6/6 Pyros next turn. But I can already go second 4-drop plus hero power next turn. So I think I'm just gonna go Water Elemental. Value trade, hit him for 2.
How long can this go on? How long can this go on?
Let's get that Leyline discount. I don't really know what my opponent's playing. Like, some of the cards tell me he's playing Zoo, but he's had the least Zoo-y opener I've ever seen, so I don't know. Well, this seems like a pretty high tempo turn. 2 mana 6/6 OP. I think there's a good chance he's just dying here. If he trades into my Water Elemental, I have 15 showing. I even have a Meteor to get through a taunt or something. Primordial Glyph to find more damage. If the opponent has a weak opener, sometimes this deck can just put stuff out there and beat him up.
Unleash me.
Alright, so he can take out one of my 4/5s, but he's still just dead on board. Okay. Soulfire. So I've only got 11 here. Probably still just want to drop a Meteor. Clear out his stuff, push face damage. Lock him out of tapping range. And even if he somehow deals with my board, which I don't think he can. I mean, it would have to be like Doomguard second Soulfire or something. But even then, he's just dead to hero power over 2 turns, or I can glyph into damage. I have Meteor if he's just trying to taunt up. Okay. Wow, he actually did have Doomguard Soulfire. He didn't attack with the Doomguard. Well, luckily it doesn't matter, because he only could have killed one of my guys, and I had 2 guys in play. I guess that's why people don't play Zoo. Because if you miss your early drops, you lose to even Mage.